Life is a journey, and with each passing year, the map changes. By the time we reach 50, the landscape of life takes on a different clarity. As the years accumulate, we begin to see the world with eyes sharpened by experience and softened by understanding. The beliefs and ideals we once held so tightly in youth may now feel like sand slipping through our fingers, as life teaches us the profound value of letting go. Our perspectives naturally shift with age, shaped by the richness of our experiences. The urgency of proving oneself or chasing fleeting achievements often fades, replaced by a desire for deeper meaning and connection. This transition reveals the beauty in life's impermanence and the wisdom that comes from embracing it. In this video, we explore 8 lessons we hold in youth but often outgrow by 50, reflecting on these through Buddhist mindfulness. These lessons lose relevance as wisdom grows, showing how aging invites a counter-narrative rooted in detachment and presence. Wisdom, like fine wine, matures with time. Buddhist teachings on impermanence and mindfulness help us understand and accept these shifting lessons, offering profound insights for navigating life with grace and clarity. Lesson 1: Success is measured by wealth. Success is often equated with material wealth, a societal norm deeply embedded in many cultures. From a young age, individuals are conditioned to believe that owning a luxurious home, driving an expensive car, or accumulating a hefty bank balance signifies a successful life. This pervasive belief exerts immense pressure, shaping life choices and priorities. The roots of equating success with wealth often form in early adulthood. During this stage, societal expectations, media portrayals, and peer comparisons heavily influence one's worldview. Advertisements glamorize material possessions, presenting them as the ultimate goal. Educational systems and familial guidance, consciously or unconsciously, reinforce the idea that high-paying careers are synonymous with a successful life. In many cases, this belief stems from a survival instinct. Historically, wealth has been a symbol of security. However, in modern society, the pursuit of wealth has shifted from meeting basic needs to achieving status and validation. Social media amplifies this trend, with curated images showcasing affluent lifestyles, further instilling the notion that wealth equals happiness. Societal norms play a significant role in perpetuating this belief. Success stories often spotlight individuals who rose from poverty to riches, inadvertently sidelining other forms of achievement, such as community contributions or personal growth. Awards, recognition, and even respect are frequently tied to material accomplishments. A striking example is the disproportionate attention given to the financial achievements of entrepreneurs and celebrities. Rarely do narratives focus on individuals who prioritize mental health, family bonds, or artistic fulfillment. As a result, a cycle is perpetuated where wealth becomes the primary yardstick for success. Numerous studies have explored the relationship between wealth and happiness. A study by Princeton University revealed that happiness increases with income but plateaus at around $75,000 annually. Beyond this threshold, additional wealth has minimal impact on emotional well-being. Similarly, research published in the journal Social, Psychological, and Personality Science found that materialism is often associated with lower life satisfaction and higher levels of anxiety. These findings suggest that while wealth can provide comfort and security, it does not guarantee fulfillment. The relentless pursuit of material gain can lead to burnout, strained relationships, and a diminished sense of purpose. Buddhist teachings offer profound insights into the pitfalls of equating success with wealth. The principle of impermanence reminds us that all material possessions are transient. Clinging to wealth as a source of identity or happiness leads to suffering, as its loss is inevitable. The concept of right intention, a component of the Noble Eightfold Path, encourages individuals to align their goals with values that foster genuine well-being. Instead of prioritizing material accumulation, one might focus on meaningful endeavors such as nurturing relationships, contributing to society, or pursuing creative passions. This perspective challenges the societal narrative, urging individuals to redefine success. It emphasizes inner contentment over external validation, highlighting the importance of values-driven living. Elderly individuals often provide invaluable wisdom on the true meaning of success. Many reflect that the most fulfilling moments in life are not tied to wealth, but to experiences, relationships, and personal growth. For instance, an elderly couple might recall their happiest times as those spent raising their children, engaging in simple joys like gardening or sharing meals with loved ones. As former U.S. President Theodore Roosevelt once said, "Comparison is the thief of joy." This sentiment resonates deeply with those who have experienced the fleeting nature of material satisfaction. Philosopher Seneca similarly warned, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Looking back on life, you realize the most priceless things were laughter shared and the moments of stillness. Picture a successful executive who, after decades of relentless ambition, retires to a quieter life. Sitting by a lake, surrounded by family, they realize the insignificance of their wealth compared to the warmth of human connections and the serenity of nature. A vivid scenario might involve a man who spent years building his empire, neglecting his health and family. One day, he faces a serious health scare. In the hospital, he sees his children, now grown, and feels an overwhelming sense of regret for the missed milestones. At that moment, he understands that no amount of money can buy back time or mend broken bonds. The societal equation of success with wealth is a deeply ingrained yet flawed notion. While material possessions can provide comfort, they are not a substitute for meaningful connections, personal growth, and inner peace. By embracing principles like mindfulness and right intention, individuals can redefine success, finding joy in simplicity and purpose beyond material accumulation. Ultimately, success is not about how much we own, but how much we value the intangible treasures of life. Lesson 2. Time is unlimited. In the boundless optimism of youth, there is a pervasive belief that time stretches infinitely ahead. This illusion often leads to behaviors that suggest an unconscious conviction that there is always more time, time to achieve goals, repair relationships, or simply to live fully. However, this belief, while comforting, often blinds us to the fragile and fleeting nature of our moments. When we're young, it's easy to feel invincible. Life appears to be an endless road, stretching far beyond the horizon. This perception manifests in common behaviors like procrastination, as we convince ourselves that tomorrow is a perfect day to start working on our dreams. Deadlines are pushed back, important conversations are postponed, and the someday we speak of never arrives. This mindset extends to our relationships. Many people take loved ones for granted, assuming there will always be time for reconciliation, shared moments, or heartfelt expressions of gratitude. The friend we mean to call, the family member we hope to visit, the apology we intend to make, these actions are deferred in the comforting belief that time is on our side. But life is unpredictable, and the opportunity to act may slip away before we realize it. In Buddhist philosophy, the concept of mindfulness teaches us to embrace the present moment fully. By living in the here and now, we cultivate awareness of life's impermanence, fostering gratitude for every breath we take and every experience we encounter. Mindfulness practices, such as meditation or simple breathing exercises, help anchor us in the present. When we pause to observe the sensations of the moment, the warmth of the sun, the rhythm of our heartbeat, or the sound of a loved one's laughter, we begin to appreciate the depth and richness of life. This awareness diminishes the urge to procrastinate or neglect meaningful connections. It reminds us that the present moment is the only time we truly possess. Gratitude flows naturally from mindfulness. When we live in the moment, we see the abundance around us. Even mundane tasks like washing dishes or walking to work can become opportunities for joy and presence. By practicing mindfulness, we not only honor the present, but also create memories and experiences that enrich our lives and those of others. Older adults often share poignant insights about the passage of time. For many, the years have brought clarity about what truly matters. Their reflections often carry a bittersweet quality, a mixture of regret for wasted moments and gratitude for the lessons learned. Take the story of Alice, a retired teacher who spent decades consumed by work. In her late 60s, she reconnected with her passion for painting, an activity she had loved as a child but abandoned in adulthood. Realizing how much time she had lost, Alice began dedicating hours each day to her art. Her paintings now adorn the walls of her home, serving as a testament to the joy of rediscovering a forgotten love. Or consider the journey of Carlos, a widower in his 70s. After losing his wife, Carlos regretted the many times he had chosen work over family. Determined to make amends, he reached out to his estranged daughter, whom he hadn't seen in years. Their first meeting was filled with tears and apologies, but also hope. Over time, they rebuilt their relationship, cherishing every moment they spent together. These stories remind us that while we can't reclaim lost time, we can choose to make the most of the time we have left. The present moment holds endless possibilities for change, connection, and fulfillment. The clock ticks, and every moment not lived fully is a moment lost forever. This simple truth carries profound weight. Wasted time cannot be retrieved, and the opportunities we overlook today may never come again. Every delay, every distraction, every decision to prioritize the trivial over the meaningful chips away at the finite time we have on this earth. But this realization need not lead to despair. Instead, it can inspire us to act. By recognizing the value of time, we can commit to living with intention and purpose. Each moment becomes a chance to grow, to connect, and to experience life in its fullness. Begin today. Call the friend you've been meaning to reach out to. Apologize to the loved one you've wronged. Pursue the dream you've kept on hold. Remember, yesterday is gone, and tomorrow is uncertain. The only time you truly have is now. Time is not unlimited, but it is enough. Enough to live a life of meaning, love, and joy. Seize the moment, for it is precious. Let today be the day you start living fully. Lesson 3. You must please everyone. Seeking validation and approval is a common tendency, especially in youth. It's almost as if we're hardwired to conform to the expectations of family, friends, and society at large. The teenage and early adult years, marked by identity exploration, can also bring heightened sensitivity to others' opinions. The desire to be liked, accepted, and admired becomes an invisible compass, often steering decisions, behaviors, and even personal dreams. Yet, this relentless pursuit of external validation can lead to a life that feels disconnected from one's true self. In today's digital age, social media has amplified the need for validation to unprecedented levels. Likes, shares, comments, and followers are now the metrics by which many measure their worth. Platforms like Instagram and TikTok often promote a highlight reel of life where perfection is curated and imperfections are filtered out. The dopamine rush from a like can become addictive, making individuals chase approval through meticulously crafted posts and stories. The result? A cycle of comparison, self-doubt, and an ever-growing pressure to maintain an online persona that may not reflect reality. Social media doesn't just influence individuals, it reinforces societal norms about beauty, success, and happiness. The fear of being judged or ridiculed online can prevent people from expressing their true selves. Instead, they conform, playing roles that please their virtual audience but leave them feeling hollow inside. Buddhist teachings offer a counterpoint to this need for validation, emphasizing non-attachment to others' opinions. According to Buddhist philosophy, suffering arises from clinging to people, possessions, and even perceptions. When we seek approval, we are, in essence, clinging to the idea that our worth depends on external validation. Mindfulness encourages individuals to observe their thoughts and feelings without judgment. This practice helps to cultivate an awareness of how deeply we're influenced by the opinions of others. By recognizing this tendency, we can begin to let go of the need to please everyone. Instead of seeking approval, mindfulness teaches us to embrace the present moment and accept ourselves as we are. Through mindfulness, we also learn the power of self-compassion. When we stop judging ourselves through the eyes of others, we can nurture inner peace and resilience. This shift from external validation to internal acceptance is transformative, allowing us to live authentically and with greater joy. Many people over 50 recount stories of finally finding freedom in being true to themselves. One such example is Anna, a retired teacher who spent decades suppressing her love for painting because she feared it wasn't a serious career. At the age of 55, she began painting again, eventually hosting her first art exhibition. "I've never felt more alive," she said, "letting go of what others think was the best decision I've ever made." Similarly, Mark, a corporate executive, spent years climbing the corporate ladder, driven by the need to impress his peers and family. At 60, he left his high-paying job to travel the world and write about his experiences. It took me decades to realize that living for others' approval wasn't living at all, he reflected. These stories highlight the liberating power of embracing one's true passions and interests. They serve as reminders that societal judgments are often fleeting, while the fulfillment that comes from being authentic is lasting. The journey toward authenticity is deeply personal. It requires courage and self reflection to break free from the chains of approval seeking. A powerful insight that resonates is only when you stop seeking approval do you hear your own voice clearly. This clarity allows you to understand your values, passions, and purpose. It's not about disregarding others entirely, but about prioritizing your inner truth over external expectations. Practical tips to let go of the need to please others. 1. Practice self awareness. Reflect on why you seek validation. Is it rooted in fear of rejection or a desire for acceptance? Journaling or meditating can help uncover these patterns. 2. Set boundaries. Learn to say no. Recognize that it's impossible to meet everyone's expectations without compromising your own well being. 3. Embrace imperfection. Perfectionism often drives the need to please. Accepting that mistakes are part of growth can help reduce the pressure to conform. 4. Surround yourself with supportive people. Spend time with individuals who value you for who you are, not for what you can do for them. 5. Focus on your values. Identify what truly matters to you. Align your actions and decisions with these values regardless of external opinions. 6. Limit social media usage. Take breaks from social media to disconnect from the constant stream of validation seeking. Use this time to focus on real-life connections and activities. 7. Celebrate small wins. Acknowledge and celebrate moments when you chose authenticity over approval. These small victories can build confidence in your ability to live true to yourself. Letting go of the need to please everyone is a journey, not a destination. It requires patience and persistence. The rewards, inner peace, self-compassion, and a life lived authentically are immeasurable. By embracing this path, you not only free yourself, but also inspire others to do the same. Lesson 4. Work is everything. In many societies, particularly in the industrialized world, work has become synonymous with identity. From a young age, we are often asked, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" This question, innocent on the surface, begins the process of linking our self-worth and identity to our careers. As adults, we introduce ourselves by our job titles, and social standing is frequently tied to professional success. This cultural narrative reinforces the idea that our careers define who we are. The hustle culture, which glorifies long hours and constant productivity, further entrenches this belief. It promotes the idea that to succeed, one must always be working, striving, and achieving. While ambition and dedication have their place, this relentless focus on work often leads to burnout and a distorted sense of self. When careers dominate our identities, any professional setback can feel like a personal failure, leaving individuals questioning their worth. Hustle culture often comes at a significant cost to mental health and personal relationships. The pressure to be perpetually productive can lead to chronic stress, anxiety, and depression. Sleep deprivation, poor eating habits, and a lack of physical activity are common among those who prioritize work above all else. Over time, this neglect of personal well-being can have severe consequences, including burnout and physical health issues. Moreover, the obsession with work often strains relationships. Time that could be spent with loved ones is sacrificed for deadlines and meetings. Emotional connections weaken, and individuals may find themselves isolated. For families, the absence of a parent or partner due to work commitments can create a sense of neglect and resentment, further damaging bonds. Buddhism offers an alternative perspective through the concept of right livelihood, part of the Noble Eightfold Path. Right livelihood emphasizes ethical, meaningful work that does not harm others and contributes positively to society. This approach encourages individuals to reflect on the impact of their careers on themselves and the world around them. Mindfulness teaches us to be present and to recognize the impermanence of all things, including our jobs. It encourages us to find balance and avoid over-identifying with our professional roles. By practicing mindfulness, we learn to prioritize what truly matters, such as health, relationships, and personal growth, alongside our careers. This perspective fosters a holistic view of life, where work is just one of many components contributing to overall well being. The stories of retirees and older individuals often highlight the richness of life beyond work. For many, retirement marks the beginning of a new chapter filled with exploration and joy. Consider the example of Susan, a former corporate executive who, after retiring, discovered a passion for painting. What began as a hobby became a profound source of fulfillment, allowing her to express herself creatively and connect with others through her art. Similarly, Tom, a retired teacher, found purpose in volunteering at a local community center. By mentoring young people, he not only gave back to his community, but also experienced a renewed sense of purpose. These stories illustrate that life after work can be an opportunity for growth, connection, and self-discovery. Another poignant example is Maria, who, after decades of working in finance, chose to spend her retirement traveling and reconnecting with family. Her experiences taught her the value of shared moments and the importance of relationships over material success. Maria often reflects, "I worked hard for years, but the memories that I cherish most are the ones spent with the people I love. The job ends, but the person remains, fuller, wiser, and more complete." This sentiment captures the essence of what it means to separate identity from career. Our jobs may provide structure and purpose, but they are not the entirety of who we are. When we step back and view life as a tapestry of experiences, we begin to appreciate the many threads that make it beautiful: relationships, hobbies, passions, and personal growth. The end of a career is not the end of a meaningful life. In fact, it can be the beginning of a more profound, enriched existence. By embracing this perspective, we allow ourselves the freedom to evolve and explore new dimensions of our identity. To build a life beyond work, start by identifying activities and relationships that bring joy and fulfillment. Cultivate hobbies, nurture friendships, and invest time in personal development. Consider volunteering, traveling, or learning a new skill. These pursuits not only enrich your life, but also provide a sense of purpose that transcends professional achievements. It's never too early to begin this journey. Even while working, set aside time for activities that nourish your soul. Create boundaries to ensure work does not consume your entire life. Practice mindfulness to stay grounded and focused on what truly matters. Life is a balance between striving and being. While work plays a vital role, it should not overshadow the myriad other experiences that define who we are. By building a life beyond work, we create a legacy that reflects our true selves, a legacy of love, growth, and wisdom. Lesson 5. Strength equals youth. The phrase "strength equals youth" encapsulates a modern cultural obsession with physical vitality and the pursuit of perpetual youthfulness. Society's emphasis on youthful vigor has deep roots, driven by media, advertising, and the human desire to hold on to the fleeting moments of peak physical health. However, true strength encompasses much more than physicality. It resides in the mind, spirit, and the capacity for growth at every stage of life. From advertisements that promise eternal youth to social media platforms flooded with fitness influencers, the cultural narrative is clear. Youth is synonymous with beauty, vitality, and strength. Billboards showcase wrinkle-free faces, toned bodies, and vibrant lifestyles, equating these qualities with success and happiness. Hollywood often sidelines older characters, relegating them to roles of fragility or irrelevance, while glorifying youthful protagonists as symbols of hope and power. This fixation creates a sense of urgency to preserve youth at all costs. Cosmetic industries thrive on anti-aging products, fitness programs market themselves as fountains of youth, and wellness trends promise to turn back the clock. The underlying message is that aging, a natural, inevitable process, is something to be resisted rather than embraced. Media and advertising play a significant role in reinforcing this obsession. They craft narratives that celebrate youthful appearances while subtly or overtly portraying aging as a decline. Consider the prevalence of before and after images in beauty advertisements. These visuals often imply that aging is a problem to be fixed, creating insecurities that fuel consumerism. Moreover, movies, TV shows, and magazines often depict older characters as out of touch or physically weak, while the young are portrayed as invincible. This skewed representation shapes societal perceptions, making it difficult to appreciate the multifaceted strengths that come with age. Contrasting sharply with this obsession is the Buddhist perspective, which teaches respect for all phases of life. Buddhism emphasizes impermanence, encouraging individuals to see aging not as a loss, but as a natural progression filled with its own unique beauty and opportunities for growth. Spiritual strength, according to the teachings, is not bound by age. It grows through wisdom, compassion, and mindfulness. By accepting physical changes with grace and gratitude, one can cultivate a sense of peace and fulfillment that transcends the superficial allure of youth. In this view, each phase of life serves a purpose. Youth may symbolize energy and exploration, but later years bring depth, understanding, and the opportunity to contribute meaningfully to the lives of others. The wrinkles and gray hairs become marks of experience rather than flaws to be erased. Acceptance of physical changes can be liberating. Instead of mourning the loss of youthful strength, one can focus on the gains that come with age. Wisdom, emotional resilience, and a deeper connection to oneself and others often emerge as compensations for the physical attributes that diminish over time. Practices such as yoga, meditation, and Tai Chi offer excellent examples of how to nurture the body and mind simultaneously. These disciplines celebrate the harmony between physical movement and spiritual growth, demonstrating that strength can manifest in balance, flexibility, and mindfulness, qualities that are not exclusive to the young. Many individuals have found new forms of strength as they age. Take, for instance, the stories of older athletes who defy expectations. Masters competitions in sports such as running, swimming, and cycling highlight participants who achieve remarkable feats well into their 70s and beyond. Artists and performers, too, often reach new heights of creativity later in life. Renowned painters, writers, and musicians have produced some of their best work in their later years, drawing on a lifetime of experience to inspire their creations. Spiritual leaders such as the Dalai Lama exemplify the profound strength that comes from wisdom and compassion, proving that age only enhances their ability to connect with and uplift others. True strength, as the saying goes, lies in the heart. It is not confined to physical prowess, but is reflected in the capacity to love, endure, and grow. The greatest demonstrations of strength are often quiet and unassuming. A kind word in a moment of despair, the resilience to overcome loss, or the courage to embrace change. Strength does not belong solely to the young. It evolves, taking on new forms as we age. By shifting our perspective, we can move beyond the superficial allure of physical vitality and discover the enduring power of the human spirit. Let us celebrate every phase of life, recognizing that true strength lies not in resisting the inevitable, but in embracing it with grace, gratitude, and a heart open to the endless possibilities of growth. Lesson 6. Emotions should be suppressed. The belief that emotions signify weakness has long pervaded societal narratives. This notion, deeply ingrained in various cultures, often frames emotional expression as a flaw or a sign of vulnerability. Yet this perspective is fundamentally flawed. Emotions are not only natural, but essential to the human experience. Far from being a weakness, they are a profound source of strength when embraced and understood. In many societies, the expectation to suppress emotions is particularly pronounced for men. Phrases like "man up" or "boys don't cry" perpetuate the idea that emotional expression diminishes masculinity. These societal norms often leave individuals, especially men, feeling trapped in a cycle of silence and repression. Women, too, face pressures to suppress certain emotions, with anger or assertiveness often labeled as inappropriate. Such expectations create a culture where emotional suppression is normalized, leading to long-term psychological and relational challenges. Buddhism offers an alternative approach to handling emotions, emphasizing observation and acceptance. Rather than suppressing feelings, mindfulness encourages us to notice them without judgment. This practice involves sitting with emotions, whether they are pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral, and observing their impermanent nature. By acknowledging emotions as transient experiences, mindfulness helps us to neither cling to joy nor resist pain. For example, during meditation, you might focus on your breath while becoming aware of an emotion such as sadness. Instead of pushing the sadness away, mindfulness invites you to explore where it resides in your body, what thoughts accompany it, and how it changes over time. This gentle curiosity can transform emotions from burdens into opportunities for growth and understanding. Far from making us weak, emotional awareness enhances resilience and fosters deeper connections with others. When we understand our emotions, we can respond to life's challenges more effectively. For instance, recognizing anger as a signal of unmet needs can help us address those needs constructively rather than lashing out. Mindfulness also cultivates empathy. By connecting with our own emotional experiences, we become better equipped to understand and support others. This empathy builds stronger relationships and creates a ripple effect of compassion within communities. Consider the story of John, a retired military officer who spent decades suppressing his emotions to conform to societal expectations. After retirement, he began attending mindfulness workshops where he learned to acknowledge his feelings. John recalls a moment when, during a guided meditation, he allowed himself to cry for the first time in years. It was as if a weight I didn't even know I was carrying had been lifted, he said. This emotional release marked the beginning of his journey toward self-acceptance. Similarly, Maria, a mother of three, spent years hiding her struggles with anxiety, fearing judgment from her family. When she finally opened up to a close friend, she found unexpected support and understanding. By sharing her emotions, Maria not only healed herself, but also inspired her children to express their feelings openly. Stories like these underscore the transformative power of vulnerability. When we suppress emotions, we deny ourselves the opportunity to heal and grow. In contrast, open communication and emotional authenticity create spaces for connection and mutual support. Vulnerability, often seen as a risk, is actually a profound act of courage. As humans, our emotions are an integral part of what makes us beautifully unique. From the joy of a child's laughter to the sorrow of saying goodbye, our emotional spectrum is a testament to our shared humanity. Tears, smiles, and everything in between are not weaknesses, but reminders of our capacity to feel, connect, and love. To cultivate emotional mindfulness, consider incorporating these simple practices into your daily life. 1. Mindful breathing. When you notice a strong emotion, pause and take 3 deep breaths. Focus on the sensation of your breath entering and leaving your body. 2. Body scan meditation. Spend a few minutes scanning your body from head to toe, noticing any areas of tension or sensation. Observe how emotions manifest physically. 3. Journaling. Write about your emotions without censoring yourself. This practice can help you identify patterns and gain insights into your emotional world. 4. Loving kindness meditation. Sit quietly and repeat phrases like, "May I be happy," "May I be healthy," "May I be at peace." Extend these wishes to others, including those with whom you may have conflicts. 5. Name it to tame it. When an emotion arises, name it aloud or silently, e.g., this is anger or this is joy. Naming emotions helps create distance, making them feel less overwhelming. Suppressing emotions may seem like a way to maintain control, but it often leads to disconnection and inner turmoil. By embracing emotions through mindfulness, we transform them into tools for self-awareness, healing, and connection. Let us celebrate our emotional humanity and practice mindfulness as a path to authentic living. After all, our ability to feel deeply is not a weakness, but a profound strength that enriches our lives and the lives of those around us. Lesson 7. The past defines you. Our past, an intricate tapestry of mistakes and triumphs, plays a significant role in shaping who we are. However, to what extent should it define our identity? While reflecting on past experiences can offer valuable lessons, an unhealthy attachment to them may hinder personal growth and freedom. This lesson explores how to navigate the complex relationship with our past, emphasizing mindfulness, impermanence, and actionable strategies for renewal. The past can serve as a guiding compass, offering insight and wisdom derived from experience. Achievements remind us of our potential, while mistakes highlight areas for growth. However, when individuals allow past events to become an immovable cornerstone of their identity, they risk stagnation. Believing that past failures permanently label one as inadequate or that previous successes define the peak of one's life limits the possibility for reinvention. Consider the common scenario of someone haunted by a past mistake. Guilt and shame may cloud their self-perception, creating an internal narrative of unworthiness. Conversely, those clinging to past glory may resist new opportunities, fearing they might not live up to former accomplishments. Both instances underscore how fixation on the past can prevent individuals from fully engaging with the present and embracing future possibilities. Clinging to the past is like carrying a heavy backpack on a journey. The more attached one is to these memories, the heavier the load becomes. This attachment manifests in various ways through regret, nostalgia, or fear of change, all of which act as barriers to growth. For example, a person who holds on to a failed relationship may struggle to trust or open their heart again. Their focus on what went wrong traps them in a cycle of self-doubt and hesitation. Similarly, someone who nostalgically idealizes a past career success may resist adapting to new roles or learning new skills, fearing failure in uncharted territory. Buddhist teachings emphasize the concept of renewal and the transient nature of existence. The principle of impermanence, anicca, reminds us that everything, emotions, circumstances, and even our sense of self, is constantly evolving. Clinging to the past defies this natural law, leading to suffering. Mindfulness invites individuals to observe their thoughts and feelings without attachment. By acknowledging the past without judgment, we can create space for transformation. Instead of viewing mistakes as permanent scars, we can see them as stepping stones in our journey. Successes, too, can be celebrated without becoming defining pillars that restrict our growth. The concept of impermanence offers a liberating perspective. Recognizing that life is in a constant state of flux empowers us to let go of outdated self-perceptions. We are not the same person we were yesterday, nor will we be the same tomorrow. This realization dismantles the belief that the past must dictate the present or future. Consider the metaphor of a river. It is ever flowing, never the same from one moment to the next. Similarly, our lives are streams of experiences, thoughts, and emotions in perpetual motion. Embracing this flow allows us to release the weight of past regrets and move forward with lightness and possibility. Throughout history, countless individuals have demonstrated the power of reinvention. Nelson Mandela. After spending 27 years in prison, Mandela emerged not as a man embittered by his past, but as a symbol of reconciliation and hope. His ability to forgive and focus on building a unified South Africa exemplifies the strength of moving beyond the past. Born into poverty and facing numerous challenges, including abuse and discrimination, Oprah transcended her circumstances to become a global icon. She often speaks of how she used her past not as an anchor, but as a source of resilience and inspiration. J.K. Rowling. Before achieving literary success with the Harry Potter series, Rowling faced financial struggles and rejection. Her story highlights how setbacks can fuel creativity and perseverance. These narratives remind us that the past, no matter how challenging, does not have to define our future. Forgiveness of oneself and others is often a crucial step in this transformation. The metaphor of life as a book encourages us to view the past as a chapter, significant but not all-encompassing. Just as a single chapter does not reveal the entirety of a story, our past does not fully define who we are. Each day offers a blank page, inviting us to write a new narrative. Dwelling on past mistakes or longing for bygone successes prevents us from appreciating the present moment. When we shift our focus from what was to what is, we unlock the potential to create a more fulfilling and authentic story. Letting go of the past is not about forgetting or dismissing it, but about freeing oneself from its control. Here are practical steps to facilitate this process. 1. Practice self-compassion. Acknowledge your humanity and accept that mistakes are a natural part of life. Treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend. 2. Reframe your narrative. Shift your perspective by focusing on what you've learned rather than what you've lost. Ask yourself, how did this experience contribute to my growth? 3. Engage in mindfulness meditation, journaling, or simply observing your thoughts can help you detach from past-focused ruminations. 4. Set new goals. Channel your energy into future-oriented pursuits. Define what you want to achieve and take actionable steps toward it. 5. Seek support. Sometimes letting go requires guidance. Consider talking to a trusted friend, mentor, or therapist to process lingering emotions. 6. Create rituals of release. Symbolic acts, such as writing a letter to your past self and then discarding it, can help signify closure and renewal. 7. Celebrate small wins. Acknowledge and reward yourself for progress, no matter how small. Each step forward is a testament to your resilience. The past may influence who we are, but it does not have to define us. By embracing impermanence, practicing mindfulness, and seeking renewal, we can transform our relationship with the past. Life's chapters are many, and the story is far from over. Today's choices hold the power to reshape tomorrow, offering endless opportunities for growth and reinvention. Lesson 8. You need to have all the answers. In a world obsessed with knowledge and achievement, it's easy to fall into the trap of believing that life's worth is measured by how much you know or how certain you are about everything. This belief can foster anxiety, create unrealistic expectations, and limit our innate curiosity. Why do we feel the need to have all the answers? Is it a cultural imperative, a personal insecurity, or something deeper? Let's take a closer look at how this mindset shapes our lives and explore an alternative approach that embraces uncertainty and fosters growth. Certainty provides a sense of control. It's comforting to believe we can predict and plan our futures. However, the relentless pursuit of answers can lead to perpetual stress. When life throws us unexpected challenges, as it often does, our inability to accept not knowing can intensify our fears. For example, consider how modern technology encourages the expectation that every question has an immediate answer. We've grown accustomed to Googling our way out of uncertainty. But does this endless stream of information truly satisfy us, or does it leave us craving more? This need for certainty often stifles curiosity. Instead of marveling at the unknown, we rush to categorize and define it. We view unanswered questions as threats rather than opportunities for growth. Buddhism offers a profound alternative to the obsession with certainty. Central to Buddhist teachings is the concept of the beginner's mind, which invites us to approach life with openness and curiosity, as if experiencing everything for the first time. A beginner's mind doesn't seek to impose rigid expectations on reality. Instead, it allows us to embrace the mysteries of existence without judgment. As Zen master Shunryu Suzuki wrote, "In the beginner's mind there are many possibilities, but in the expert's mind there are few." By adopting this perspective, we can transform our relationship with uncertainty. Instead of fearing the unknown, we can learn to see it as a source of wonder. Life becomes less about finding definitive answers and more about savoring the journey. Not knowing is not a weakness, it's a doorway to discovery. When we relinquish the need to have all the answers, we make room for wonder and creativity. Consider the greatest scientific discoveries, artistic masterpieces, and spiritual insights throughout history. They often began with a question, a mystery, or a sense of awe. Leonardo da Vinci's genius was fueled by his insatiable curiosity. He was unafraid to say, "I don't know, but I want to find out." Similarly, children approach the world with boundless curiosity. They ask why, not to achieve certainty, but to engage with the world's endless possibilities. Reconnecting with this childlike sense of wonder can help us navigate life with greater joy and resilience. Stories of elders who have found peace in life's mysteries can inspire us. For example, many older adults reflect on their lives and realize that some of their most profound lessons came not from knowing, but from experiencing and accepting uncertainty. A retiree once shared her story about losing her high-powered career due to unexpected health issues. Initially, she was devastated by the uncertainty of her future, but over time, she found solace in accepting life's unpredictability. She took up gardening, a pursuit where patience and humility, not control, are key. "The garden taught me to embrace the cycles of life," she said. "I don't have to know everything to appreciate the beauty around me." Another example is a couple who chose to travel the world with no fixed itinerary. Rather than meticulously planning every detail, they embraced spontaneity and the surprises it brought. "The best moments weren't on our original checklist," they shared. "They happened when we allowed ourselves to get lost." These stories remind us that letting go of the need for certainty can lead to unexpected joys. As the saying goes, wisdom isn't in knowing everything, but in knowing what truly matters. This shift in perspective helps us prioritize what's meaningful over what's merely factual. For instance, in relationships, the need to win arguments by proving we're right often overshadows the importance of understanding and connection. Recognizing that love, empathy, and mutual respect matter more than being correct can transform our interactions. In our careers, focusing on the impact of our work rather than our position or accolades can bring deeper satisfaction. Embracing uncertainty in professional settings can also spark innovation and resilience. To help you cultivate a sense of openness and curiosity, try the following meditation exercise. 1. Find a quiet space. Sit comfortably in a place where you won't be disturbed. Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. 2. Acknowledge the unknown. Reflect on an area of your life where you feel uncertain. Instead of seeking answers, simply acknowledge the unknown. 3. Breathe into curiosity. With each inhale, invite curiosity. With each exhale, release the need for control. 4. Repeat a mantra. Silently repeat a phrase like, I welcome the mystery, or it's okay not to know. 5. Visualize possibilities. Imagine the unknown as a vast open sky. Each cloud represents a possibility. Watch them drift by without clinging to any one outcome. 6. Conclude with gratitude. End your meditation by expressing gratitude for life's mysteries and the growth they bring. Life's worth isn't measured by how much we know or how certain we are. It's measured by our ability to embrace the journey, find meaning in the mysteries, and grow from our experiences. By letting go of the need to have all the answers, we free ourselves to live more fully. We discover that wisdom lies not in mastering every detail, but in savoring the beauty of the unknown. So take a deep breath, step into the mystery, and trust that the answers you truly need will reveal themselves in time. Life after 50 is not merely a series of endings, but a profound opportunity for transformation and insight. Through the lens of age and Buddhist mindfulness, the 8 lessons we've explored illuminate a path toward deeper purpose and fulfillment. Each of the 8 lessons, whether about embracing impermanence, cultivating gratitude, or letting go of attachments, provides a unique gateway into understanding life's essence. With age comes wisdom, and Buddhist mindfulness offers tools to channel that wisdom into meaningful action and reflection. As we grow older, we often revisit foundational beliefs and values. These lessons remind us to acknowledge life's impermanence, cherish the present moment, prioritize meaningful relationships, release the burdens of regret and resentment, embrace simplicity, seek contentment over material success, practice self-compassion, recognize the interconnectedness of all beings. These teachings are not just personal but universal, connecting to broader themes of purpose and fulfillment. They urge us to ask, what truly matters? How can we live with intention and grace? A shift in perspective often accompanies life's later years, where once we may have sought achievement and approval, we now yearn for peace and authenticity. As the renowned Buddhist teacher Thich Nhat Hanh once said, the present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it. This timeless truth encourages us to pause and appreciate the beauty in life's simplicity. Mindfulness teaches us that life's meaning isn't found in grand achievements, but in the quiet understanding of what brings true happiness, love, connection, and a sense of inner peace. Life after 50 is a time to honor these truths and embrace what is truly meaningful. Now it's your turn to reflect. What lessons have you learned in your journey? How has your perspective changed with age? Take a moment to meditate on these questions and share your thoughts or experiences in the comments. By doing so, you contribute to a community of wisdom and support.